said that I'm bad as hell. How the fuck she know she only looking at herself? So-called love affair, but in it I can never tell.
Hello, my name's Khadijah, aka Keisha, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to do kind of an intro to reading. I have a lot of subscribers who are either family or friends. They're not really in the book community, and they've asked me like, what does TBR mean, or what do you mean when you get it from Kindle Unlimited, and where can I find these books? So I want to do an intro to reading. If you've been within the book community, you can feel free to click off this video. I'm not sure you'll hear anything new, but I just want to get everyone on the same page and make everyone feel welcome and like know what I'm talking about when I'm using book lingo or talking about a certain site. So that is kind of where this thought for the video came from, and that's where we're gonna go from here. So first up, where can you read? Where can you get the books? I will be looking down because I have a lot of notes here, and then I also have my iPad. I am going to go ahead and put it on screen share so that you guys can see me logging into these apps and kind of see what the app is like or where you can find it online. Okay, so first I thought we would go over Amazon because I do read a lot from Amazon and I usually always get my books. Now, of course, you can search a book and, bring it up that way. Let's just try Poison Roses. That came up really quick. So you can search it, and obviously you can buy the physical copy through most books with the paperback. You can also get it via Kindle Unlimited or Audible on audiobook. Now, Kindle Unlimited, this is kind of where we'll go more into that. So Kindle Unlimited is a subscription service. I believe it's like $12.99. They might have gone up maybe $14.99 a month. But essentially, you can download up to 20 books from Amazon. A lot of indie or independently published authors are on there, and those are a lot of the authors that I read. So they are available on Kindle Unlimited. You can download up to 20 books at a time and return them return whenever you want, and then get more books to read on the Kindle app. Now, the Kindle app, I really recommend. I'm sorry, just to go back to Kindle Unlimited quick. Usually if you sign up, you can get free months, like 3 free months most of the time, or at a discounted price. So I definitely recommend giving it a try. If you're looking into books that I've been reading and you maybe want to try those out, I definitely recommend Kindle Unlimited. But next, with the Kindle app, essentially you can get the book on Kindle Unlimited, and then you can just go ahead and, read now. I already have this borrowed, so it's already on my Kindle. But with the Kindle app, you can go ahead and you can download this app on your phone, your iPad. If you have a Kindle device, you can definitely do that. I do have a Kindle, Paperwhite, and I do really love it, just because it's easier to read on there, and now they have dark mode, so I can read like with a black background on that device, and I just really love it. The charge lasts for days. Literally, I think I charge it like twice a month, maybe. So I really like that. But before I had a Kindle, I would use my I would use my iPad to read on, or my phone. For years, I read on my phone and my iPad, and that worked totally fine too. So if you have either of those, I recommend downloading the Kindle app. The Kindle app is free, and even if you don't want to do the Kindle Unlimited, you can still buy the ebook on Amazon, usually $3.99, $4.99. Some of them, if it's a traditionally published book, usually it's a little bit more expensive, but otherwise you can just buy them for free. Not buy them for free. You can buy them for cheap, or you can use Kindle Unlimited and download them for free within the subscription cost. There are also days, as far as like Stuff Your Kindle, where you can, there will be a ton of like romance or other, I believe they do it for other genres too, but I only know about the romance ones. Basically, they have a bunch of books on Amazon that are free to download and keep. So if there's another one of those days coming up, which I believe there's a couple during the year, I will try to, post that in the community tab on my channel. But that is an awesome way. Like, they have thousands of free books that you can just download and have to keep in your Kindle app or on your device. Along with that, if you have an Android, I believe you still can get the Kindle app. And you also use Playbooks to have your ebooks on there that way as well. And so this is just like a little look through from my library on my Kindle. I also will get more into that, but I also read my fan fiction on my Kindle or on the Kindle app. And so we'll go more into that. But this is basically what it looks like. All of these that you're seeing, continue series you've started, these are all on Kindle Unlimited, similar to the last book you read. Like, there's so many books on Kindle Unlimited. I love it so much. I use it all the time. Next, I want to talk about another option other than buying or getting a subscription or buying the ebook is your library. Your library. Now, I'm pretty sure getting a library card is free. If not, I think it's pretty cheap, around $5. I 100% recommend it just to get, honestly, the digital content. So we have different apps that I use. I use Libby. And I'm not sure, I think that's universal. I'm not sure if that's just to my library. Oh, it says Wisconsin's digital library. So see if you have a Libby, and get the app. I use this, literally, I just put in my library card and I can search books. I can search whatever is in the Wisconsin library system. I can put a hold on a physical copy. I can listen to audiobooks, and I can get ebooks delivered to my Kindle, you know, to like borrow and read as such from the library. And I believe you get them for about 2 weeks. And then sometimes there's a hold time, so you might have to wait for a book to come in, but it's a really, really awesome option if you're not wanting to spending any money, you know, on getting books or anything, or you're just getting into it and you just don't want to make the commitment. Definitely recommend looking into getting a library card and seeing what is out there as far as your library and digital content, so that you can borrow books to your Kindle or from or your audible. I'm sorry, audiobooks. And kind of going back to Amazon, Audible is the audiobook Kindle version. Like, it's for audiobooks basically. That's also a subscription that I recently got. I did get rid of the subscription before because I just wasn't really reading too many audiobooks, but I went back and I got an email, you know, offering oh, and I'm sorry, I don't have the app I don't have the app on my iPad, but essentially I went back and I borrowed or I went to my email. Audible had sent me an email and they said, you know, join and get your first few months at like $5.95, I think it was. So I did that. So my first 3 months will be like $5.95 per month. You get 1 credit to listen, you know, to any book that's on Audible. And if you want to listen to more audiobooks on there, it is about like $15 mostly per book. Sometimes if a book is on Kindle Unlimited and you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get the audiobook for I think like $7 or $7.99 for a deal that way. So like if you have both services. So I know a lot of people use that option as well. And so they also have Audible Originals, which are other books that are included with your subscription that you don't have to pay or use an extra credit for. So audiobook listeners, that's definitely a option. Mostly for audiobooks, I use Anyplay. I really like Anyplay. I think I pay quarterly, like $25 every 3 months. And they have so many books. They even have some newer books sometimes. And I just really love it. Honestly, like, this is Anyplay right now that I'm showing on the screen. And essentially, they have tons of popular books. They have latest releases. You can, you know, click on a book and save it or save for later. And then you can listen at any time. And I don't believe they have a limit to how many books you can listen to per month. So I really love Anyplay. Anytime I can find a book that I want to listen to, I first go to Anyplay to see if it's on there before using like an Audible credit, because you only get 1 per month. So yes, definitely recommend Anyplay, especially if you love audiobooks. It's a wonderful service. Like, I go through phases where I have Audible, but I will always keep Anyplay basically. And then, so not to really jump around, sorry, but going back to the library use, there's also an app called Hoopla that your library may be connected to as well. Now, Hoopla, they have a ton of titles on there, and you can borrow up to 6 holds per month. At least I can. I'm pretty sure it works like that for everyone, but I've only used it a few times. and you get to borrow them for the month and then it's returned. Again, I usually do audiobooks on this one. If I do ebooks on here, you can only read through Hoopla, so like I can't get them to my Kindle, so I don't really do too many ebooks from here. But again, if you're only reading on your phone or your iPad, that's a totally valid option for you to use. So I still definitely recommend checking it out, and it's free books. It's reading for free, you know, with your library card. So 100% recommend. Next, I do want to talk about Archive of Our Own. So this is where I find my all my fan fictions that I read. Essentially, Archive of Our Own is a site where people can post fan fictions, and fan fiction is a story that someone writes just for the benefit of the readers. It's not the author that's writing it. There's no publishing, like no one has rights to these stories, essentially. And so they can't be sold. You cannot buy them. You know, some people usually will, you know, bind books and they will, you know, say you have to pay the price of shipping or materials. It does get a little iffy sometimes because, again, you cannot profit from these stories because they are owned by the publishers. But we have, you know, just regular people making stories about your favorite characters and different things that happen. And that's why I really love fanfic, Dramini fanfic to be exact. I just think it's so fun and it's so cool. And I never read the Harry Potter books, but I love reading fan fiction. So this is the site I use for that. Now I will leave this link down below. I'm pretty sure I will leave all of these linked in the description below. But basically, if I'm looking something up, I will just look up Manacled. And these aren't the right ones because I'll have to search by Sinlin Yu. Sometimes the searching is a little iffy. Like if you search a name and it's not coming up, you have to edit it and then maybe include the author or artist. Also, I found it's easy to just search on Google because if it's a popular fanfic, you know, just search the title and then like AO3, it'll come up on Google right away because it's been searched so many times. But here I am. So this work could have adult content. Yes, continue. So if I want to read this, if you're reading on an iPad or a phone, you can click entire work and you can just read directly from here and just, you know, go through the story that way. If you are wanting to put this on your Kindle, I'm just going to go over this quickly. I know Jen from the Book Refuge has a really good video on this, but if you want to get this on your Kindle, you would click download, you would click Mobi because I believe, or is that the one that doesn't work? I think it's EPUB now. We'll see. But you would click one of those, either Mobi or EPUB. I'm just trying to see because Kindle did stop accepting one of the types. I'm going to click download. And once it comes up, you're going to click open in Kindle, I believe. Maybe this wasn't a great one to show you because it is so long that it's going to take forever to download. So we'll just wait for that quick. So I clicked my downloads. I'm opening Manacled. And then I'm going to click that like share button. And I'm going to do, you can put it in your playbooks if you have that app. I'm going to do Kindle. Author name, change it. I'm not sure why it like auto-populates to your name. Then I'm going to click send and it'll send it directly to my Kindle so that I can read it from there. So that is basically the websites I use to read, the apps I use to read, how I find my books and such like that. The next part I want to go over really quick is just some book lingo that you may not, like I've been throwing these words around and I did not realize that other people didn't know, so I'm sorry about that, but hopefully this helps. So first is DNF. I DNF a lot of books, I say that a lot, and that's did not finish. That's basically all that stands for. That basically just means you started a book, you're not liking it, you're gonna put it down and move on to the next. Next is TBR, which means to be read. So like when I have my 2024 TBR, 2024 books that I want to read, January TBR, again, books that I want to be read. That's what that means. Triggers, when I say check for triggers or trigger warnings, these are basically things that can upset a reader or trigger them to feel anxiety or sadness. Usually like cautious, they should go into it cautious and they should read the triggers just so you're not taken by surprise when you pick up a book and it's something that, you know, can deeply offend or hurt you. Tropes. Okay, so tropes are common themes throughout books. So basically, you know, fake dating. They, for some reason, the main male character and the main female character decide to date. Or they want to be in a marriage of convenience. That's a trope. Or an arranged marriage. You know, somebody has arranged her to be married. Or arranged her to be married. Those are what those means. And I usually, a lot of ways that I find my books are by tropes. I like to see what tropes there are and if I will enjoy them. And then MMC or hero is the main male character. FMC is female main character or heroine of a romance story. Okay, so I talk about Omegaverse books a lot on my channel. And Omegaverse is essentially an alternate universe, or sometimes it takes place like in our world. It can be like bear shifters, wolf shifters, you know, more paranormal in that way. The ones I've mostly been reading is they're human creatures, but they have these designations. So, and it's like biological. So you have alphas who are like, you know, top dog, they're alphas. Essentially, alphas need to be with omegas. Omegas are usually girls, but sometimes boys. Sometimes boys can be omegas too. They're usually kind of made for breeding almost, and that's kind of how it goes with their biologically. Like they go into heats when they need to mate, and alphas can only help them with that because they need an alpha knot. I wouldn't recommend Googling knotting, but if you are really interested, just be careful. Definitely don't do it at work. But yeah, so we have omegas and we have alphas. Omegas are usually pretty rare within the worlds. And then we have betas. Betas are kind of the more normal of the species. They're not really needed. Sometimes they're in a pack, sometimes they're not. Most of the time they're with other betas, but they're like the bigger part of the population essentially. And so within these worlds, like I said, omegas go into heat, they need alphas, and they usually form a pack, or it can just be an MF, male-female, or MM, male-male coupling. You know, so essentially that's what Omegaverse is when I'm referring to that. It is a little confusing. Honestly, I would say you just kind of have to try one to like really get the gist, and a lot of authors do a great job of explaining it before even going into the stories. And I've already kind of explained fan fiction, stories written for no cost and for the enjoyment, based on a show, a book, a movie. A couple words that go with fan fiction that you'll find is canon. Canon means that it follows the original work. So as far as canon goes, like in Hermione, like if Voldemort won the war, that's not canon because that's not what happens in the books. Or if they do win the war and the story is taking place after the war, that is still canon, but maybe their characters aren't canon where they act differently than they were portrayed in the books or movies. And then we also have AU, which stands for alternate universe. Basically, it's the opposite of canon. You know, Voldemort wins the war, that's an alternate universe that it happens. So that is really all I have. I really hope this was helpful and this helps a few of you who are kind of getting lost in my videos. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to ask and leave them down below. I will definitely respond. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time I post a new video. So far, I'm hoping for at minimum 2 a week, but we'll see how it goes. Again, just hit that bell notification so you can be notified, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.